Vermont was the very first state admitted to the Union after the ratification of the Constitution and has the country's largest ratio of cows to people. It boasts the least populated capital in the U.S. and is a state where the well-known ice cream brand Ben & Jerry's was founded. It's also known for products like teddy bears, wood furniture, and maple syrup. Today we take our show on the road as we go snacking in New England with 4 treats from the great Northeast and ask, "You tried that?" You tried that, Vermont. Here we are. It's an episode everyone's been waiting for, the Vermont episode. I'm Nick Novak with our pals Chad Hancock.
Hey, what's going on?
Nick Geiger.
You can call me the Vermont.
We're not calling you that.
No?
I will call you that.
No one calls you that?
Actually, let's call you that the rest of the episode. You are Vermont.
You know why they call me that? Because I have never been to Vermont.
And whenever you're telling somebody how something happens, you're Vermansplaining.
You're right. You're right. What are your guys' thoughts about Vermont?
I mean, we've had a ton of feedback from listeners. When are you gonna eat Vermont snacks?
Right.
When are you gonna talk more about Vermont?
Vermont is a real hotbed of activity, in the national discourse right now. Is it? I don't know. Where's Vermont?
Right. I know in the upcoming presidential race, they can't stop talking about who's going to win Vermont. It's going to swing the entire thing.
Who do we know that gave us Vermont stuff?
Yeah, what's the story here,
Sister.
Geiger? What's the story?
My sister Becky swung through Vermont. I don't know if she went to Vermont or she was just passing through on her way to something more interesting, but she stopped and got us these Vermont native snacks. One of them's even called just Vermont, I think, is the name of the company. So that works out pretty good. I don't know if that's a government snack or not, but we'll find out.
We should send her a thank you note, but something came up recently where my personal stance on a thank you note is that I don't like to send them. Not that I'm ungrateful. I don't even care about getting them. Actually, I don't like to get them because then it makes me feel like I'm supposed to send back a thank you note to that person. So when you guys give a gift or have a reason that requires a thank you note, generally, do you send them and do you wish people sent them to you?
So I personally don't care about getting a thank you note, right? Like I view thank you notes kind of the same way that I view like Christmas cards that people send, which is like I take a look at them, read through them, go, all right, and then like into the recycling. But so I don't personally care if I get them, but I had it hammered into me as a kid that you have to send thank you notes. Like we always had to send thank you notes at Christmas, birthdays, to everyone or whatever. So I had this like paranoia compulsion where like I will send thank you notes to. Now I don't send thank you notes to like my brother or my mom or whatever when they get me stuff. But I will send them to all my sort of like extended family, or like we had to send out a ton of thank you notes for like anybody that got us anything, when my daughter was born or whatever. So we just sat down one day and I hammered out like 30 thank you notes or whatever and sent them off and it's to the point where like, just today, actually, because you mentioned that you were going to ask about thank you notes, I couldn't remember if I had said a thank you note to my aunt. She like sent a Christmas gift for my daughter, and I thought I sent her a thank you note, but I couldn't remember. I'm like 90% sure I sent her a thank you note, but just with that 10% chance, I actually sat down and wrote another thank you note to send off to her. So because I thought that would be better than like sending her an email and being like, hey, did I remember to send you a thank you note? So she's probably going to get 2 thank you notes from me for the exact same thing.
Geiger, what do you think about thank you notes? Or, Vermont?
Yeah. I'm the same as Chad. I grew up having to do them for birthdays and Christmas and stuff. In fact, sometimes we'd get gift of stationery, which I would then have to use to do a thank you note. So it's kind of a self-fulfilling thing. For weddings,
someone gives you thank you notes.
Right. I'm with you guys. Weddings, baby showers, dental visits, if I have a mole removed, grocery shopping, all the big stuff, you have to send thank you notes. But I actually don't send them now. I mean, especially because usually when I'm getting a gift, I'm either present with the person there I can just say thank you, or I will call or text and say thank you. I do make my kids do them because I think it's just, even though I personally don't think they're necessary, I think, like Chad said, it just got instilled in me that you should. But for my kids, it's less about the person needing to read a note. It's more about my kids showing gratitude and understanding that it's important that you say thank you for things and that it's not taking for granted. So making them do a little effort. We don't have them write a ton of thank you notes, but once in a while I have them write because especially my daughter really can't write that many words. So, but I mean, I think the biggest faux pas so far with thank you notes is our listeners have yet to write us any thank you notes. We give them a gift every week. It's the greatest thing they could be receiving. And nary a thank you note.
Our podcast thank you notes, just not like the 1-star iTunes reviews we get. Is that our thank you note?
The one single person downloading it on YouTube for some reason, you know who you are.
Have you guys ever written an angry note? So the 1-star review is kind of an angry note. Have you guys ever written a note that was an anti-thank you note? Like an angry letter to somebody in your life?
No. Like a, hey, you sent me a gift, go fuck yourself kind of thing?
Not for a gift.
Oh.
Not for a gift. This gift sucked. Love Chad.
I wanted a Nintendo and you got me a Sega. Fuck you. Like that.
Fuck you, Santa. I've probably written angry emails. Is that that's today's note?
To who? Right? What's an angry email you wrote, Vermont?
Yeah, you're right. I didn't. I mean, I was just thinking at work. Maybe I wrote like a somewhat testy or irritated email, but even there, you kind of have to be professional. I'm sure. I guarantee I've written some shortly worded emails or text to my wife over time of when I got mad at her, but not I guess not an angry letter.
I think the only angry, I don't even write angry texts, really. I think the only angry texts I write, and it's happening again, this is something I've been doing for a couple years, and I'm about to reveal what a terrible person I am, but I really, really, really dislike political solicitors, and now it's over text, right? So, we get...
the electioneers, you mean?
Yeah, we get these electioneers texting me, and they're saying, hey, you're going to vote for, Bernie, you're going to vote for Mayor Pete, or whoever the fuck, right? You get all these texts, and my habit now is I just reply to the text, fuck you for spamming me. Even if I actually, agree with the, oh yeah, I am going to vote for that person, or whatever. I don't want I don't want the spam. And
but doesn't that give you more spam because now you're proving that you're a valid phone number?
Maybe, but you can always block the phone number on the phone, But actually, I did this so I got a text from the Bernie campaign, and they were like, "Hey, you want to donate some money to Bernie or something?" I forget what it was, and I replied "Fuck you for spamming me," and they replied "Really sorry for bothering you. We'll opt you out of the out of the text messages immediately. Have a great day." And I was like, "Oh, that was kind of nice of them." So I just replied "Thanks. You have a great day too."
Feel the burn.
You felt bad. Yeah, you could spam me again. It wasn't that bad.
Oh, come on. You can spam me. You can spam me a little bit.
I have been getting so many auto dials from you said, politicians or scams. You're gonna go. The FBI is looking for you because you didn't pay your taxes. You better call it. Stuff like that. And lately, I've been getting a bunch from someone who thinks my name is Satish. Satish. I've got your student loans all figured out, or Satish. It's all these Satish emails. And I don't know if maybe this Satish guy really is, his life's all fucked up and he needs a wife and to pay off his student debts and hair loss products and stuff like that. Or, and I'm just getting them and I should be redirecting them to him, or if they're just mistakenly spamming me. Satish, if you're out there, dude, take care of your shit. You are all over the place.
Do you keep getting these calls saying, Nicholas Richard Geiger, you have not paid your taxes in 3 years. We are coming after you if you do not pay your taxes. You're like, stop it with the fucking spam. Fuck you for spamming me.
You reply, actually, my name is Satish Vermont.
Yeah, I keep getting these cease and desist letters from the state of Vermont. Like, please stop representing yourself as the Vermont. I was like, yeah, fuck you. Yeah, no, I just I ordered a lot of magazine subscriptions under Satish's name, and I'm trying to track me down.
Well, before we get into the Vermont snacks, Chad, you had an update
I
for
just
everybody.
look. I just wanted to address something because we talked a couple weeks ago about the whole Mr. Peanut death thing, right? And so then so we had all these theories about how he was going to come back. You know, like he was going to come back maybe as like a millennial hipster or like a woman or something. But we knew that for sure they were going to bring it back. And I'm sure you guys saw. I mean, this is a little dated by the time this comes out, but they brought him back in the worst possible way, which is the baby nut. So it's a baby, stupid. It's called Baby Nut, stupid name. It's not cute, stupid. Everything about this, like, it was the worst. There's a lot of bad things going on in the world right now, you know, like all the stuff in, you know, Washington or like coronavirus or whatever. I think the worst of it all is Baby Nut. That's all I wanted to say. I'll get off my soapbox now. What do you guys think? Baby Nut?
It's a play off Baby Yoda, right? They're trying to.
I think they're trying to capitalize on the Baby Yoda shit, yeah.
Wait, is his name Baby Nut?
His name is actually Baby Nut, which is like...
That's terrible.
Honestly, it was all worth it once I saw the commercial of Mr. Peanut dying, and I was cracking up. Did you guys watch the commercial where he dies?
I did. What was the funny part?
So, it's like him and two guys, you know, like the peanut mobile drives off a cliff, and then him and two guys are hanging from a branch.
No, not just two guys. Wesley Snipes and that one guy from Veep.
What?
Yeah.
So Peanut, like, it's gonna break. That's too heavy. Peanut tips his hat and winks, and then drops to the canyon floor. Lands in the vehicle. He lands in the vehicle, and the vehicle explodes. I was like, why?
Wait, is that the end of the commercial?
Yeah, the commercial.
No context whatsoever.
Yeah, that's the commercial, and then they had another one where now it's a Baby Nut.
It's supposed to be him. He's like, I'm back.
Yeah, like Baby Groot, I think, sort of.
Well, right. I saw some collection of like their social media where it's trying to do something with Baby Nut, and they had him do all these dumb like, Baby Nut is dabbing, and like trying to like do. It sounds like like my dad's like done one Twitter search of what's popular with kids, and then tried to do Baby Nut jokes with it, and I'm like, this is horrible. Here's Baby Nut spamming Chad.
I guess the most important question is if we were to go to the dark web and look up Baby Nut on the Hot or Not dark web website. Perfect 10, right? It's got that hourglass figure.
Yeah, I mean, he's a baby,
yes.
Which kind of fucks it up a little bit, but
yeah, but it could be baby like, what's up, baby? Like that kind of.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. It's the whole website is Hot or Nut now. Hot or Baby Nut.
That's way more time we should have spent on Baby Nut. Let's eat some snacks.
Baby Nut do.
Oh, fuck you.
No?
We use a 5-point scale to rate Baby Nut. It's a love dat, like dat, indifferent to dat, dislike dat, or hate dat. Oh, where to start today? Let's start with the meat stick.
We're going to do the ants last, right? Or no?
Yeah, we'll do the ants last.
That's right, folks. We said ants.
Oh God, I've been dreading this. I do not want to eat these ants.
Would you rather start with ants and then wash out the taste?
No, we got to finish with them.
Okay.
I'm more excited about the ants than I am about a jalapeno lime beef stick.
Well, we're going first with it. So this is it actually says Vermont on it. The Vermont Smoke and Cure beef stick. It's a jalapeno lime maple smoked beef stick, but Vermont is not only the state it was purchased in, but the company.
And it's made in Vermont.
It's a pretty wide beef stick. It's not like, it's much bigger than like a Slim Jim.
This is pretty good.
I'm not getting any jalapeno or lime.
Are you getting beef?
Yes. Maybe? Sort of. Maybe like some baby beef.
I mean, there's a little bit of heat to it, like just a little bit.
It's really late.
I almost think it tastes like a jalapeno, just not spicy. It just tastes like the actual jalapeno fruit.
It's really late. It's like not during the chew. It's after you swallow. It's just kind
Mhm.
of sitting on the sides of your tongue.
Yeah, I see it. Or taste it.
But it's not unpleasant.
I see it because I have eyes in my mouth.
Vermont, you're going to go first. What do you think of the beef stick?
Yo. Well, I think I kind of gave it away. I kind of like it. I like a little spice to my stuff. And this has that little bit of like you said, the heat isn't bad. It's not like a overwhelmingly spicy, but it's just kind of there. It's kind of like part of the taste, but doesn't obscure it. It's a good it's a traditional beef stick that's kind of soft and the texture's good. I don't see any lime in it. I couldn't tell you one piece of lime. I have like a cross section here, and mine has like a little like gray chunk. It looks like an actual chunk of jalapeno, I think. So that makes me feel better that it might actually be real. Oh, it's a solid like that. This is tasty. I would eat this.
Okay, like that to start. Chad, what do you think?
It's not spicy, so that's actually good, but I don't think the flavor is great. I actually think the jalapeno and the lime flavor, as subtle as they are, I think it kind of brings it down. So if it was just like a plain beef stick, I might have actually given it a like that. It's got a good texture. It's a lot less dry than some of those like turkey sticks and those other kinds of meats that we had tried in the past. But I don't think the flavor is anything special. So indifferent to that for me.
I'm more in line with Geiger. I think the meat part of it is very good. It's just the right um, amount of tenderness and still has a tiny bit of a snap to it. The jalapeno isn't great, but it's not overwhelming. And if I have to eat a jalapeno beef stick, this is kind of probably the one I'd go for. And I could see another flavor of this Vermont brand. I could potentially even love this one. I'm not going to love. I'm just going to give it a like that. So 2 likes and an indifferent. A nice start for the meat stick, and that might be tough to beat here. We'll see.
Meat stick.
Let's next go with the maple pretzels. This is the Distler's maple pretzels. Now it says pretzels, but what it looks like is just like maybe one very large pretzel that has been broken up into small chunks. So
Yeah.
what you see does not look like pretzels inside, but just sort of wood chip shaped pieces that are kind of sticky and cover, and you can actually see pieces of salt.
Yep.
It's kind of like those Snyder's bags of snack. You know, like those Snyder's like sourdough pretzel covered in whatever.
They're very hard.
Nice and crunchy. It says they have a kick of Vermont maple, but I don't know if I'm actually even getting any maple.
So apparently, in the back, Alec Distler started his own small business as an 8th grade school challenge. So this was created by an 8th grader? I'm reading that right? Not bad.
Yeah,
Dude's fucking
8th
rich.
grade. I was like just sitting around drawing like fake Sonic the Hedgehog levels instead of paying attention in class. This guy started a company.
I was just cranking out a couple baby nuts into a Kleenex.
Wait a second.
In the middle of my 8th grade class, I got asked to leave a lot.
I was just cranking out baby nuts into these fake Sonic the Hedgehog levels. Just wiping it up with my notebook.
Okay, Chad, you're up first. What do you think of the maple pretzels?
I've been going back and forth. Like, I did eat a bunch and I was kind of liking them, but I think they're just a little too hard, too crunchy, and I'm not really getting maple flavor like I would like. When they advertise maple in like big font like that, I want it to be sweeter than it is. So I don't think I can give these a like that. I think I'm going to slide it down into an indifferent to that.
Here's the thing. They don't deliver on the maple, like you said. They're just sticky. That's the maple part of it, is they're
Right.
sticky. They don't even deliver on the pretzel part. they don't taste very pretzel-y either. It just tastes like a hard
Yeah.
piece of bread. Um, I do like the little bits of salt they have on there. I think that is nice. They can maybe use a little bit more. I don't think they're hitting on really any level here. I'm gonna have to actually slide them down to a dislike that. I'm not really going back for any more. Probably have eaten the last that I'm going to eat of them. So, Vermont, do you agree with us?
Yeah, look, as one of our best citizens, Alec Distler, I salute you for your endeavors, but we can tell you were in 8th grade when you made this. Because this is a fucking dumb snack. You put this together like a real shithead. No, I mean, it's fine. Here's the thing. So I like those Snyder's like snacks I was talking about, but I like them because they're real crunchy and they're like you said, salty. Not necessarily because there's salt on the pretzel, but because like the flavors are like savory flavors. If you're gonna do a sweet pretzel thing, it's got to have some salt to counterbalance it, and there's not. But it's also not that sweet. Like I'm glad it wasn't super sweet, but at the same time, I was just left with. I just felt like I was eating hard bread. It just
Yeah.
tasted like stale pretzel with a very little bit of syrup in there. So I'm gonna go dislike that. They're not actively terrible. I just don't get it. I don't think they're good. So I guess that makes my rating make a lot of sense. I said I didn't like it. I don't know why. I'm just continuing. My explanation of why I give it a dislike that is because I don't think it's good. Everybody,
Always
That's
telling it
why.
like it is, Vermont.
we come straight at you in the state of Vermont. Vermont. I'm Vermont. That's
Okay.
Vermont.
Let's do the third one before we do our segment, so that way it gives us, because this is looks like a candy that's gonna take a little while to eat. So Geiger, we just have the little tiny individually packaged one, so you might have to fill us in on. Do you have a one that has a logo and a name and nutrition and everything on it?
I would love to share that with you, but I can't because it's not here. I did write it on the. My sister had to send me the label like over a picture, and then I think I put it on our documentation. So I'll look that up while you guys are vamping about this awesome candy we have here.
So it's sort of like a hard, shaped like a maple leaf, and it's some kind of maple candy. Now, we had done on my childhood snacks episode, we had done the maple sugar candy, which was, I think, a version of this that's not as hard, right? Like that one had sort of dissolved immediately, but this one seems like you have to suck on it for a while. First impression, it does have some maple flavor when you put it in. You can taste the maple.
This is the Vermont Country Store maple syrup hard candy.
Now, Chad talked about in that childhood episode that you enjoy maple things in general, correct?
Yeah, I love maple syrup a lot. But I don't know what to make of this because it's like, I really want to bite into it and get like an explosion of maple flavor. I don't want like a small trickle of the maple, like I don't want like a little maple like IV or whatever. I want like a fire hose of maple like coming right at my face.
How do you eat pancakes? Just someone squirt syrup into your mouth while you're eating them?
I take the pancake and I roll it up like a burrito and then wring it out over my mouth like a towel, and just the maple syrup just drips
Okay.
all over my
makes
face.
sense.
Yeah, that's how I do it.
Looks like you had an encounter with Baby Nut.
Exactly.
All right, I'm first. This feels like I'm eating just a general piece of hard candy from like a mixture, like the hard candy that old people have at their homes. I'd rather have a piece of butterscotch or something than this.
Whoa.
The flavor's just not very strong. It's very kind of plainish to me. This is how I'm telling you what I'm doing right now. I'm taking it out of my mouth, handing it to my wife, who's then going to eat the rest of this candy.
Wait, hold
Sloppy
on.
seconds.
She so badly wanted to eat this candy that she said, oh, I love maple candy. Can I try it? I said, there's one piece, so you're not going to be able to try it unless you want to take the piece that I sucked on for 2 minutes and eat it. And she said, I'm not above that.
Okay, seriously, would you do that if the things were reversed? If she had the candy in her mouth and she gave it to you?
I just don't care enough. There's no hard candy that I care that much about.
Yeah.
Where I would
I couldn't
need
do
to
that. That's gross. I know kids at school when we were little would have like a blow pop and they didn't want the gum, so they would suck all the candy off and then give someone else the gum, and I'd almost throw up in my mouth. That's so fucking gross.
You would, Chad?
I think I've done that before. Maybe not with hard candy. Maybe with like a piece of cake that you didn't like. Something like that.
She was chewing on a piece of cake.
Okay, but it's one thing to like share a piece of food. It's not. You're not taking the bite of cake
Yeah,
from her
took
mouth.
the cake
she
out
took
of her
a bite
mouth,
and
right.
said blah, and then I went up.
Oh, that's
she fed me the cake like a baby bird.
So there's not even enough there for me to really dislike. It's almost like a time passer type of a thing. So I have to give it an indifferent to that. It's so middle of the road of any kind of snack I could eat is a very definition of indifferent to me. Vermont, do you agree?
Yeah, this is just kind of there. It's sweet, which I guess makes sense because it's made of maple syrup, but it's not like super sweet. It's the weirdest thing. I know I'm eating candy, but it's like the lightest flavor of all time. There's like almost nothing to it. So, yeah, I don't hate it. It's fine. If I had nothing else to put in my mouth the rest of the night, I'd happily let this just hang out in there for a while, but there's really no reason to eat it. So, yeah, indifferent is probably the right way to go.
Whew. All right, Chad. Do we have, like the text you've been getting, a lazy electioneer?
Are you going to text this candy, fuck you, leave me alone?
I am going to text this candy, fuck you, but that's not because it's a lazy electioneer. It's not going to get an indifferent from me. This candy is fucking terrible. This is awful. It doesn't even taste like maple syrup to me. It tastes like pancake syrup. It's hard to eat. Every second that it was in my mouth was an offense against humanity. I could not wait to spit it out.
I've heard that before too.
I did spit it out. Hate that. This thing sucks.
Whoa! How could you be that adverse
This
to
is
this?
such an innocuous
tasteless
thing.
hard piece of candy.
It's
Tiny
really
piece
bad.
of candy.
It's bad. It tastes bad.
Is it because you're a maple fan and it offends
Yes.
you that it's okay?
Yes. I think this is a disgrace to the maple name.
I better not hear all this big maple talk and go to your place and you've got like Mrs. Butterworth in your fridge or something. You better have
Oh hell no!
artisanal
Hell no. We only
maple
buy
syrup.
Yeah. I get this big like $20 jug of real maple syrup from Costco.
Oh, okay.
But it is real maple syrup.
All right.
All right, segment time. And since we're going to be eating ants today, we're taking a look at some various foods from around the world that people eat, but will seem probably gross to most of us. Now, Chad's been quite a number of places, so he may have come across some of these or be familiar with them, and maybe even not think they're as gross as we do with our Midwestern sensibilities. But the name of this segment is Eager for Dat. So we have sort of a long running for 20 plus years joke here where you present somebody with two terrible things, and then as the argument goes and they're sort of arguing why one is better, you say that you make it sound like they're eager for it. You say, oh, you're eager for that. So
Very funny.
I'm going to describe the two things.
You had to be there for 20 years.
I'm going to describe the two, and you have to say which of the two you're eager for by answering, I'm eager for blank. So whichever is the better of the two, you say that you're eager for it. So there's 5 quick matchups. The first one is shirako, which in Japanese means white children, but refers to the sperm sacs of either cod, anglerfish, or pufferfish. So sperm sacs of fish. Looking like white blobs of goo or miniature brains, they are said to have a sweet custardy taste. Okay, so that's your first choice.
Eating fish cum is what you're basically asking?
Yes. You're eating their baby nut.
I've done worse.
I mean, we eat a lot of fish eggs, right? Like that's what roe is. Anytime you get roe from at a sushi place, those little orange things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is just the other half. You get to see how the other half tastes.
I wouldn't say eat a lot of it.
Oh, I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that you actually have to jerk the fish off before.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah. Well, bonus.
Fish don't have dicks.
All
I
right,
don't know how you do that.
I am eager for that.
The second its competition is tuna eyeballs. It's not a waste, not whatnot, when it comes to tuna in Japan. Even the eyes are plucked out and served up cheap in supermarkets. To cook, simply boil or steam and season with garlic or soy sauce. So it's basically fish eyeballs. So which are you eager for? The fish sperm sacs or the fish eyeballs?
Hmm.
That's very easy for me. I think eyeballs would be very gross. I think they would probably be like super hard, like the texture would be weird to bite into. So I'm eager for that sperm.
I like how your explanation of eating eyes. Well, that'd be pretty gross. So give me some fish sperm. That'd be much easier. Plus, Chad, you got to be careful because if you're eating fish roe, and then you're also combining it with the sperm in your mouth, a baby fish might be born in your belly. Is that how that
That's true.
works?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it could
I
be.
know.
Could
I
be.
think I'm really good at science. They teach science really well in Vermont.
Right.
I would go with fish eyes. I think. I just over. I mean, it's roasted. You've got your salt and garlic. You can make it flavorful and season it. I suppose you could season the fish balls or whatever, but just the description of, I can't get the image out of my head when we know it's a sperm-filled sack, and you're like, it's so custardy. Like that's just so fucking gross. I do like soft serve custard, like Culver's, but no, I doubt it would be like a Culver's
I mean,
style.
Culver's
ice
is
cream.
basically cow cum.
Is that it? What it is? They just
Yeah.
jerk the cow off into a cup and put sprinkles on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yep,
That's
I
why
know
it's so
that because I
soft.
started at Culver's when I was in 8th grade.
Yeah.
That's
So
what I
we're-
did. Was I just took a bunch of people out back and jerked off cows.
Yeah, I
into their
was gonna say
mouths.
you wrung your notebook out of your Sonic levels into the cup.
So we're 1-1. Before I decide, the deciding factor is maybe can you get pregnant from anglerfish sperm sac on a toilet seat? Is that true?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. That's how both my kids got born.
I'm going with the sperm sacs, like Chad said. There's something grosser about the eyeball. To me, it's just more clearly part of the animal. I don't know. I'd have a much harder time eating the eyeballs. So
There has never been a more you are eager for that scenario in my entire life. And you two are eager to eat fish sperm.
all right, next matchup: white ant egg soup. It's I don't know how to pronounce the long name, but it's Gang Kai Mat Dang. Combines a mixture of ant eggs and partial embryos from the white ant, plus a few baby ants to add sourness. So white ant
Where's
egg
that from?
soup.
Does it say?
It does not say.
Yeah.
And then Bashin Tang is this supposedly health-giving Korean soup is made with spring onions, dandelions, a host of spices, and one infamous ingredient, dog meat. So do you want to eat a soup with dog meat or a white ant soup that has ant eggs, embryos, and baby ants?
Look, I think I speak for all three of us when we say we've all gotten up in some white ants before, right? I mean, both my kids came from a white ant. You know what I'm saying? I ain't concerned about it. No, I would
Let's talk about
white women.
not
who are
the
ants.
white uncle, right?
White aunt. Yeah. I would sooner blow a white uncle than eat dog meat. That's just a bridge too far for me. I think I've had like larva before, and I've had like I know there's a lot of there's some Mexican dish that's got like larva in it too. I think eating bugs is going to be a lot less noticeable, especially in a soup. It's going to be like drowning in like liquid and an egg and all this other stuff in there that's kind of mask the taste, as opposed to just chowing down a nice toothy bite of dog meat. So I will go ants.
Ant soup.
Ant
Chad,
soup.
do you agree with him?
So, I've actually had ants before. Did I tell this story on the podcast? That I've eaten ants?
You were in 8th grade, right?
No.
Joined Sonic.
And you went
Eating
down on
ants.
someone's ant.
Yeah. No, it was when we were in Laos. We were on this coffee plantation, and the guy was taking us around, and he was showing us like there was all these ants on the coffee plants and stuff. And he's like, "Oh, one of the like talking about the different ways they try to control the ants." And he's like, "Or you can just eat them." And he just like grabs an ant off the thing and like shoves it in his mouth.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I remember telling.
Yeah, and so then I tried it. Like I tried them, and they just tasted like lemony. Like it wasn't really all that gross. And now I did say I would eat like any meat. Like I'd try panda meat or whatever. But dog meat is the one I'm least interested in. I think just because I love dogs so much. So I'm gonna go with the ant soup.
I'm gonna third on that ant soup. Eating the dog just would be too, and the fact that the meat's probably gonna take you a bit to chew gives me too long to kind of think about what I'm doing. So just from a mental place, I can't do the dog meat. All right, third matchup is the Huitlacoche. Corn smut is a fungus that turns normal corn kernels into tumor-like growths covered in blue-black spores. To most people, that's a diseased corn cob that needs to be thrown out. To the Mexicans, it's a culinary specialty. They call it Huitlacoche or sleeping excrement, and enjoy the woody, earthy flavor of the fungus. So it's basically super old fungus-filled corn on the cob. Or the competition is the Arag, a glass of fermented horse milk. In Mongolia, this isn't an unusual offer at all. They make a kind of beer called Arag by taking a mare's milk and letting it ferment into a fizzy, sour, and slightly alcoholic liquid. It's served chilled in a bowl-shaped cup. So which one? Do you want the fermented horse milk or the rotten corn on the cob?
Yeah, that one's easy for me. I'm eager for that horse milk. I think the rotten like corn on the cob, everything about that sounds just really vile to me. Like I'm not mushrooms are fine sometimes, but like having like a sort of like a rotten one, it almost was getting sick to my stomach listening to you describe that. So yeah. Give me
Horse
that
milk.
horse milk.
Geiger, are you? Does drinking horse milk make you shit your pants just like regular milk, or no?
Only one way to find out. I think so. I mean, milk is milk. But you know what? Despite that, you had me at beer. I love to sit back, kick back, drink a couple brewskis with the boys. Why not just stride up to a horse, squeeze its titties, get that sweet, sweet milk out?
Why not?
Kick back. Watch
do you think
the
they have
game
horse milk on
and
that?
kick back with some
Do you think they
fermented
have
horse
milk
milk.
on that Untapped
that?
app or whatever that? What's that app?
I need to look it up. Yeah, I got. You get a special badge for 5 different variety of horse milk. Yeah, no, I mean, I would probably do the milk again because it's a liquid and it'd be easier to down. I'm with Chad. I've heard of huajloche before. I've heard it. Can't say it, but I've heard it. And that I'm with him. That just sounds revolt. Like eating moldy food on purpose makes no fucking sense. I don't mean to be culturally insensitive, but that sounds terrible. So,
I'm picking the corn. I know it sounds gross, but I cannot do
Novak.
that
You're
milk
eager
sounds
to
disgusting.
eat moldy corn.
I'm eager for moldy corn.
Look at him. He's so eager.
All right, 2 more. Let's get through the last 2 here. All right. Known as rotten cheese, Sardinia's casu marzu is made from cheese that has gone bad, really bad. The larvae of cheese flies are added to the pecorino, hatching inside, burrowing around, and digesting the fats. The result is a weeping, tongue-burning delicacy that you can eat with or without the maggots.
What?
So there you go. That didn't make you sick to hear.
Tongue burning?
The competition, because that you'd think that nothing could beat that. This is just the description of this was great. It's called the Hakarl, not Hot Carl. This is the Hakarl.
It's when a guy shits on your chest.
Hakarl. Wait till you hear the description.
Sweet hot Carl, Novak.
Wait to hear the description. To prepare, this is straight from the description. To prepare, first gut and behead a Greenland shark. Place in a shallow grave. Place in a shallow grave and cover with sand and stones. Leave for 2 to 3 months, then cut into strips and serve. Cut into strips and dry for several more months before serving. So
Well, how did that get invented?
So
I
is
don't
that just
know.
like shark jerky or something?
Yeah, more or less. Or the cheese, the rotten cheese or a hot Carl. Which one? I'll go right off the bat. As much as that sounds disgusting, I'm sure that old shark meat is gross. I could not eat the rotten cheese with potential living bugs in it. So I'm taking the hot Carl. Vermont, what do you think?
Yeah, I will. Then I'll second that. There's no way on fucking earth I'm gonna eat moldy cheese with writhing larvae in it. I like seafood. I mean, I'll take your Urban Dictionary recipe for hot Carl over there. That sounds fine.
Chad, 3 hot Carls.
Yeah, 3 hot Carls. Sign me up for that.
I just want the pull quote for this app to be: all 3 of us love hot Carls.
I actually don't think it sounds all that bad. It might be all right.
Uh-huh.
Might be all right.
All right, the last competition is the century egg. So this one you might have heard of. If you discovered a rotten egg, would you eat it? Someone in ancient China did, lived to tell the tale, and now it's a delicacy. The eggs, known as 100-year eggs, are covered in clay, ash, and salt for months. Or the crispy tarantula, which is kind of as it sounds, tarantulas cooked up. So are you so put off by eating a spider that you would eat this 100-year-old egg, or would you have no issue eating a crispy tarantula?
Okay, point of order. Maybe there is someone that has made 100-year-old egg, but I've had 100-year-old eggs many times. They're not actually like 100 years old.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
just the name.
Right. It's just
of
called
them.
the century egg, right?
Yeah, they're really good.
Oh, okay. So you like it?
Yeah, 100-year egg is great. Like an egg, except like with like an egg with some weird kind of seasonings or whatever that you wouldn't expect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're good. So I'm eager for that 100-year egg.
I guess on that description, I was easily going to take the crispy tarantulas because I don't think that's far less bad than some of the other things we talked about here today.
Yeah, I agree.
So I may still take that over the egg because just the description of having an egg that's really sort of turned is not great. So I'm eager for the crispy tarantula. Geiger, you're the deciding vote.
I don't. What? Like the idea that there's an old egg. The idea of
You
an
could
old
just take
egg.
another hot Carl.
You know why? You know why he just sounded confused? Is because you called him Geiger instead of Vermont.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wait, is there a fourth guy in this podcast?
Why?
Is there a fourth Mant here? Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I might be Mr. Vermont, but I am not Mr. Vertarantula. If kind of close enough, right? Close enough.
Oh.
I don't know why. The egg sounds weird, but we also have one testimonial that it tastes really good. It's a seasoned egg. You'd rather eat a fucking tarantula that's deep fried than a seasoned egg?
It's not fucking. It's been killed and fried.
Would you rather have a tarantula copulating with another tarantula or an egg? You could spread some of that whale sperm on it while they're getting it in. No, I'll take the egg. That sounds like a slam dunk for me. I had actually heard of that. Maybe I had heard of it from you, Chad, when I was out. But
I was thinking of adding another 10 of those just to avoid eating these ants, but the time is nigh. So these ant wafers are in just a little decorative black box here. There's 4 pieces. Now the pieces are really innocuous. They just look like pieces of candy. It looks like a piece of white chocolate drizzled with some regular chocolate across the top. So it looks good to just look at it.
Smells good. Yeah, I mean, it just smells like white chocolate. So is it like the cookie is made of ants, or where are the ants in this?
I don't know, but if you look at the ingredients in the box, the second ingredient is black ants.
Oh yeah, after sugar.
Sugar, then black ants. Oh, I really debated whether I just wanted to put the entire thing in my mouth and forget that what I'm doing.
That's what I'm trying to decide. I think I'm gonna bite into half just to see what it looks like on the inside.
Chad, I think you need to stack these.
I don't even see any ants in it.
Maybe it's just a psychological ruse.
It just looks like white chocolate through.
Oh, there's some little ant bits in there.
Yeah, I just had one that had barely any.
No.
Oh yeah, I just got a crunchy little bit on my teeth.
No.
Yeah. Oh, there's something weird in
Oh,
here.
fuck.
I think it's an ant.
It's either the white chocolate or maybe it's the ant. I can't tell.
Well, I don't like white chocolate to begin with, so this is also not helping.
What else
I
is in
definitely
here?
something tasted kind of off. I wonder if it's a black ant.
It's the Actually, there's something as I'm biting it. There's like something about it that's just a little bit. I think it might be the ant. That's right.
Well, I'm trying to figure out if the chocolate just sucks and tastes sour, or
Yeah,
if I'm tasting ant in it.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Every now and then I'll see a little part that looks like a leg. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
As I'm chewing, I'll hear like a crunch in my head. I'm like, oh, there's the ant.
Yep, you find the ant as you chew.
Oh.
But I took like a small
Where
bite
you
to
find
begin
the
with,
ant?
and I don't think I got any ant in that bite,
find
and
it
it still
inside you.
tasted not great. So, I think the white chocolate is pretty shitty, but the ants aren't helping.
You know what this could use? More ants, said no one ever.
Okay, so Geiger, you are starting us off. So what? I know we haven't quite pinpointed it yet. We're still dancing around. I know a little bit. So, what is it that's not connecting with us?
So,
Is it the white chocolate or something else?
guys, I'll tell you what. I'm going to do process of elimination. I've had white chocolate. I've had regular chocolate. I've opened things in boxes before. I've unwrapped plastic. What's different about this one? Oh, it's from fucking Vermont. That's why. No.
It's the drizzle of regular chocolate across the top. That's the problem.
This is fucking horrible. This is terrible. And I don't know if it's the ant or the chocolate. Like I said, it's hard to separate them.
I know.
But no, I mean, I think I don't know if the bit like there's a weird bitter taste to this thing. It like even so where I don't know if just the white chocolate is bad. Like I said, I don't like white chocolate, but putting it aside, it tastes bad, and I don't know if that's the flavor of the ant shining through. I'm gonna assume there's like something bitter and sour about it. I think it might be that hint of ant I'm getting.
For some reason, these cookies taste like they can carry 100 times their own weight. Is it the white chocolate or the ant?
Yeah, and then when you crunch and you get that little bit of like antenna or leg in there, and the pop of bad flavor comes out again. This is terrible. You know who I think is really fucking weird? Anteaters. You're eating this shit all day? This is your fucking diet? It's terrible. Shame on them. This is a flaming horse shit box of shit. This is terrible. This is my brain is broken. I am not Mr. Verm Ant. I'm Mr. Verman. I'm the Vermand. I fucked all of that out. This is terrible.
What?
Hate that.
Now I'm the one who's confused.
Well, because it's not for ants. It's not Vermont because of the ant part. It's because the man in Vermont. We can cut all this. This is terrible.
What?
Hate that.
What?
Hate that.
Huh?
Hate that ant.
Okay.
Fuck you, ant.
I
This
hate.
is awful. Fuck you.
Geiger
Becky.
does not like ants.
I really don't understand you, and I don't know if it's because of the white chocolate or the ants.
You know who I'm really mad at right now? My child's aunt. My sister Becky. This is fucking terrible. How dare you make me eat this?
Okay.
Oh.
Chad, do you agree with him, or do you think it's the white chocolate that's kind of throwing it off?
All right, let me be clear. These aren't good. I didn't have nearly as strong of a reaction to them
What?
as Geiger did.
They taste dirty and shitty.
They are foul. Make no mistake, they are foul. But I would rather eat another one than go back for that maple candy.
What? I literally put maple candy in my mouth to rinse out the taste. You're high, man.
They are very, very foul. The consistency when you get that like little crunch of thorax or whatever is very bad. That's probably the white chocolate's thorax, but it's not good. There is a very, very foul flavor, so I am gonna second a hate dad on it.
All right.
But I don't think it's the worst thing we had today.
Chad, I thought you were gonna be a little higher because I'm not. I can't put these as a flaming bag of dog shit. They just don't belong there.
I went back and forth between dislike and hate, but like that kind of last.
Maybe
bite
I got a
took
bad
was
batch. Mine
bad.
literally tasted like there was something nasty and bitter. And so I think it was the ant, but I can't be sure.
It is foul. There is a foul taste for sure.
Here's why. The white chocolate isn't that bad. I don't think it tastes as bad as you think.
Are you sure?
I've
What part didn't you like then?
I think I've thought about it a while. It's the ant. Is the part that's not good.
There was something bugging me about it. I think it was the ant.
Wow. If it didn't have an ant in it, I might actually finish all 4 of them because I don't think it tastes
Yeah,
that
but
bad.
it did. Well, yeah, no. I mean, if these Reese's cups didn't have peanut butter, I wouldn't like them.
It
No
wasn't
shit.
even the ant making it taste bad to me. I didn't taste this bitter ant taste that you're talking about. I almost want to eat it, but I look at it, and the one I have has 2 legs sticking out the top of the cookie, right? Which is so I can't just mentally put it in my mouth. I understand it's my own block. It's not the taste. So I just don't think it's fair for me to say hate that just because like I see the ant leg and don't want to put it in my mouth. But the taste isn't that terrible. I agree. I hate it. I didn't like the pretzels at all. I didn't think they were very good. This is going to be just a dislike dat. It's not going to be a flaming bag of dog shit, but it's probably going to be enough to for us to see it at the end of 2020 on the short list of bad snacks.
Novak, I got news for you. Those 2 legs sticking out the wafer. It's not the ant. It's Baby Nut.
Okay, Geiger, where can the listeners contact us?
If you would like to send us a bag of insects to eat or comment on the fortunes or misfortunes, as it were, of Baby Ant or Baby Nut, sorry. No, I'm all confused. You can reach out to us at youtrydat@gmail.com. On Facebook, we have a You Tried Dat group, and we post the links to the site there. We have YouTube, Stitcher, Instagram, SoundCloud, hashtag You Tried Dat on Twitter. You can tweet at us and say, hey, man, sounds great. I'd like to find out where to get that sweet, sweet ant food you guys got, or some of that whale sperm or whatever else you're running to eat. Hit us up if you've ever eaten any of that weird stuff. Tell us maybe, hey, you idiot, just try it. Maybe it's good. Leave a like, leave a review, suggest future snacks, all that good stuff. Thanks for listening as always. But Becky, you're on my shit list right now. I don't know how you guys did not find that revolting. Maybe I just had a bad one. They were just so weird tasting.
Eat another.
Could have been the white chocolate.
I would have rather Planters had come back with Baby Ant as their new, just out of nowhere.
That
Just
would've
like,
made-
well, now our mascot's an ant.
No sense. Just like,
An ant wearing a diaper, and it's got a pacifier in its mouth. That would have been better.
would it carry a big peanut with it?
An
or
ant
no?
covered in white chocolate.
No, just an ant.
Okay, that makes sense.
Say, I'm not sure what it is about the new Planters ad that I don't like, but I think it's the ant.
I thought it was a white chocolate.
I mean, it's in it. Planters, right? Ant is in the.
I think we've had. I tried to pull off all those jokes all episode, and you gave me shit for it. So
My brain doesn't work. Tell me what's wrong with me. Yesterday, I was trying to make some eggs for breakfast, and we have the compost bin, right? And normally you crack the eggs into the bowl, and then you throw the shell into the compost bin. And I went over and I cracked the egg, and I just poured the contents of the egg directly into the compost bin. And then, like, I'm standing there holding the 2 shells, and just, like, I'm like, what is wrong with my brain now that I'm deciding to just crack eggs directly in the compost?
I'll tell you what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
It's something. Now I think it's something that you put in your body recently. It's not the chocolate. I don't think it's a chocolate cake. I'm pretty sure it's not the Reese's cup. I think it's the ant.
Maybe it was that gallon of horse milk you drank right before you started cooking breakfast.
Oh, I do have good news, actually. Speaking of cake, I baked a cake this week. And
That is good news.
Yeah. I baked a cake, and my wife decided to eat a third of it.
Oh, wow.
What the hell?
So I only had to eat 2/3 of the cake instead of the full 3/4. I'm a new man.
You only had to, like you were forced to before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I must eat 3/4 cake.
I thought you were gonna say my wife ate a third of it, so now I'm single again.
Oh, by the way, you're all invited to my wife's funeral. Wait, what? Don't worry about it. I'll send thank you notes.
Yeah, take a look down at that cookie you got there, Vermont. It's not 2 ant legs sticking out. It's my wife's legs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She ate more than a quarter of a cake.
I wondered why you shipped me a 4-foot cookie in a wooden box. I was very confused. Like, what are we eating today? This is all right. Did you guys get one?
Covered in white
Mac,
chocolate.
Did you get yours in the mail? What? No.
Okay. All right. Well, let's call it there. But we'll be back next time. We'll be trying out 3 brand new songs.
Deuces.
Yep.